Hello and welcome to the first edition of Let's Talk. Let's Talk na program where they reach you from creating opportunities for disadvantaged persons. Kodak. Anyway, they bring the program to Una Mina Sahid Bangura. Let's Talk they look into issues where they affect people their mental well-being. People who don't survive general medical conditions like HIV, hepatitis, and other sicknesses them. And people themselves who don't become successful in our society. Waiting them go through where they become successful in our society. We go for a short break, and when we come back, we will introduce the guest who we get in this studio. Welcome back from the short break where we just get. Remember, say let's talk. We dey discuss everything. We dey talk about issues wey go glad you heart and wey go make yourself one be part of the program. We guest for today inside the edition Let's Talk na a Sierra Leonean and a woman. Her name Dr. Edwina Davies. Na a licensed clinical and educational psychologist. He don dey work na Santa Clara County Office of Education, the largest county office of education na California. This person also gets PhD in Human Services and Community Development. He also gets doctorate degree in psychology. He gets a master's degree in sociology, and he gets other masters in counseling. And na the first Sierra Leonean where they don recognize na the United States Congress for in humanitarian work them where he don dey do. In there with today na the program. I just want welcome Dr. Edwina Davies to the first edition of Let's Talk.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure being here.
Okay. So I feel we can at this first edition of the program, Let's Talk.
Well, anything where they make an impact, I'm always for it. You know, I feel privileged that me are the very first person. I hope so, since me are the first person, I go do a good job.
Yeah. Okay, Dr. Davies, although I don't give short introduction but you, but people go and know deeply who na Dr. Davies.
Okay, who na Dr. Davies. Okay, I'm a Sierra Leonean. I go high school. I go attend Annie Walsh Memorial School at Minena Border. And then after I finish, my daddy sent me go Europe. I go France. I'm in France. I study bilingual secretarial duties and bilingual education. Then when I finish, I work in the diplomatic service, and then I go to the United States. When I go to USA, then I begin pursue higher education. And I think because my daddy be always instill in me that the cloud is the limit. And because always people they ask me, why you get so many degrees, why you get so many books na you eat? I said, well, because where I grew up, the only thing my daddy says the cloud is the limit. You have to keep going. Whether you're a woman education not for hold you back because you're a woman. And so me drive in education and just keep going.
Okay. Well, I like that side the way you say education, they drive you, daddy inspire you so much for make you go become then kind picture we don't learn books so. One can say like the society where we find ourselves, we know say Salona a patriarchy system. We are in the male dominance in society. One can say, what inspire you apart from you daddy where you get this boku education here?
I think the thing that led me on is the various challenges where I experienced along the way. And each time when I get these challenges along the way, I just fall back to education. So when I got a failed relationship, I just drive back to education. Any challenge where I get. And one thing about me is when somebody underestimates me, it's like I have to prove to that person that I will show you that I should not be underestimated. And that's now one of the things that would inspire me for keep going.
Okay, that's amazing. And because we know like the society often we say like Sierra Leone, psychology not thing where we say people them, we not even they do psychology now we can't say Sierra Leone. Why you choose psychology? as a career in life?
I choose psychologist because one, I get mental health challenges in my family, but that's one. Secondly, again, I'm from a country where they don't understand psychology. Because I remember when I get my PhD in psychology, I remember the first thing my daddy say, "Hey, na Chris man you are work with." And so I just feel say I want to show people that psychology is not just about working with people with mental illness. There are other aspects of psychology. You get educational psychology, you get clinical psychology, you get sports psychology, you get neuropsychology. And that's why I attended this field, is because I know not just in Sierra Leone, in Africa as a whole, you do not have psychologists. And initially I wanted to be a sociologist. And so that's why I pursue a master's in sociology. But then when I started working in Inglewood Unified School this year, I started working with psychologists. That kind of steered me that, you know what, I am more into understanding individual mind than group behavior. And then I get attracted to some of the theories like Freudian attract me, Skinner also attract me. And then I said, you know what, let me study more of the individual behavior and the mind. And so I just get hooked up.
Wow. Well, that's amazing. Fam, will not forget say the program where they listen to now let's talk. In the come to you from creating opportunities for disadvantaged persons. And where they bring the program come to Namina Sahid Bangura. Well, doctor, in your life, although you don't get all this education, you don't become a mentor of many people in our society, there must be a lot of challenges where you go through for achieve some of their success stories there. You can like for take me through some of the challenges them where you go through, so say you don't reach to like where everybody they call you doctor, some might even they say the mommy.
Well, one of the major challenge, I remember when I left France, bear in mind, when I was in France, I'm in at the diplomatic service. So I was considered like a privilege to be around heads of state or diplomats where they come. And then when I travel to the United States, it was like you have to start back from scratch. So somebody that comes from the diplomatic service where you deal with diplomats, heads of states, secretaries of state, then you come now in a country where you have to start from scratch. So that was a challenge for me. It was like, I looked at myself and I'm like, is this me? What am I doing here? But I persevered because I set a goal for myself. And so I went through that challenge for go back to school. And then when you start to get this degree, the more you climb socioeconomically in life, the more you're competing with not blacks, especially in the United States. Now you're competing because you're in a white collar jobs. So now you're competing with whites. And you are resented by the white man because for them, who are you? Who are you, this black with a foreign accent, for come and stand and challenge us? And so those are the challenges. And I'm one strong person that I always believe in what I stand for. And I remember when I started doing assessments and making diagnosis, and started looking at some of these assessment tools that we use. And I'm saying, no, these assessment tools, they are culturally biased for African Americans and for black as a whole. And so those are the challenges where you have to stand up now with people who made these tests, like the WISC or the Stanford Binet, these tests that are so well known around the world. And you, an African woman, coming and saying, no, these tests, you cannot use these tests on our people because they are culturally biased. So you have these challenges because you try for create your own tests, you try for create your assessment tools, and you get in other words, you're fighting the big guys, and you have to keep fighting. You have to keep fighting and breaking all of these barriers. So these are the challenges that I encountered to be where I am today.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, Fambu, I should not hear waiting doctor they tell we, and in terms of with society where we find we serve. When they talk about education, especially to women them, now a very big challenge.
Yeah.
You know, trying to achieve, then at the same time, you they try for develop a career, you they marry. How you be they manage some of them? First of all, I want to know you get picking them.
I have 3 children of my own.
Wow. So, family can want know how you able manage balance the time you dey born, you dey learn this book, because we get one belief saying that we country where woman learn book too much, but who not can born. Some they not even married. So, how you able overcome them challenges? They get 3 picking them. Then how able balance the education and the picking them?
Well, you just have to, first of all, you have to be focused on your goal. You have to focus on your goal and not make anything deviate from your goal. Because I could tell you, with the 2 first children, I attend school up to the last minute. Like my second child, I attend school on the Saturday, the Sunday I get up. And the following week, when I was in the class, I attend class again. The professor said to me, "Excuse me, weren't you pregnant last week?" I said, "Yes." And he was like, "So what are you doing here?" I said, "Life has to go on." And so you have to keep telling yourself that nothing should stand in your way. Having children should not stand in your way. Being a wife should not stand in your way. Having to make dinner should not stand in your way. You just have to prioritize, and you just have to learn to juggle all of them. And it can be done.
Wow. Well, welcome back to the program, Doctor.
Thank you.
You just don't tell me, say, being a mother not going to stop you for do what you're supposed to do. And now we believe, say, who run the world? Now girls, them, they run the world. Welcome back to the program. And Doctor, people them want for know also, like, having gone through all these challenges, then you become successful in life, in your little corner. It don't impact a lot of lives them. One person waking day obayanda and you want to do what you do, but one some of we get the fear, because we know so this fear for make somebody come out and do what you're supposed to do. Now a cultural thing. What you go tell people them wake you want to do certain thing, but they afraid for make them come out and do what they're supposed to do.
I mean, if you get a passion for something, you not get for fear. If you get a passion, there is a saying, you can only fear fear alone. You can't fear fear alone. If you believe in yourself, you just can't forget that innate belief in yourself that nothing can stop you except you. Now you alone can stop yourself. You just have to take the bull by its horn. If all of us been afraid, we're not going to be where we are today. So you just have to tell yourself, I can do it.
Okay. Well, you as a mental health expert and everything, we all know the challenges we people then they go through. Some man can they not know how they able to control in mental well-being. We in the face certain crisis like the time you they born, you they go school, financial crisis they under. Some man can decide for give up. What you go tell young people then, be it a woman or a man, where they learn book, where they say there is a time where they come, you don't tire, you won't give up. What you go be your message for how they go able overcome their mental well-being for make them able to achieve what they're supposed to achieve?
One strategy for me that I always use is self-talk. You have to keep now you get for the tell yourself that you just get for the encourage yourself and say I can do it, I can do it, because and they say to yourself, maybe if I quit now, maybe now this not been the opportunity where before be the breakthrough for me. So now that you get for the tell yourself, say, how about if the next step now the breakthrough? How about the next step now the breakthrough? So if you keep the tell yourself that, now so you go keep the tell yourself that, stay, you get to where you are. So you get for keep on telling yourself, I can do it, I can do it. Nobody but me. My destiny is mine. That's what you have to tell yourself.
Okay, doctor. Yesterday, when I do something on the status, I talk about Yukawa in the studio. somebody send a message, 3 people and send a message, they say they're not going to come the program, but make I ask you this question directly, so then go hear it from the interview. This other one, in name Lillian Camara, and say, I quote, in the field of human development, it sure involves a lot more than mere instinct. But in Sierra Leone, students are limited to courses which are incorporated to the field of studies, of which psychology is not available for us here, except we travel outside of the country. Is there any expectation from the next 3 years to have a psychology being read in the universities? How convinced are we as social workers that we have been actually helping people with limited insight of professional psychology?
Well, first of all, I'm surprised that, let me just ask this question. Psychology is not being offered in the university?
No, we not begin to it now with country.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, in most countries, psychology is one of the core classes you take in an undergrad. And because you need human development, you need to understand human psyche. So I'm surprised that whoever the bill on a curriculum, each department chair or department dean, not consider psychology as one of the the courses.
We can do them as a module. We can do certain modules relating to psychology, but they know they do the degree itself, like undergrad degree in psychology, a master's degree in psychology. We'll not begin to it, but we do as a module, because like we read social work, we do a lot of modules that were relating to psychology, but we know they do the degree itself. The person they try for ask, if we were just they do the modules then, we know they do the degree itself. We really they practice well for help people them in a society.
When you do a module, you're not a practice in psychology. You're just doing it as an exposure.
Yeah.
You can't practice with it. Psychology is one profession that you can't even you can't practice with a master's degree. In most Western countries, you have to have a PhD. Not only must you have a PhD, you cannot even practice with a PhD. You have to have a license. You have to have a license after the PhD. It's a very extensive profession. So if anybody is considering being a psychologist, then they have to bear in mind that they will have to go to school for at least 8 to 10 years.
Okay. Well, this other person again sent this question. He named Desmond Coker. Good afternoon, Mr. Sahid. I would have loved to witness the session tomorrow with Dr. Edwina Davies, but due to personal reasons, I can't. Doctor, according to what you wrote on your social media angles, Doctor has 2 doctorate degrees, both in psychology. How will she help to change the narratives for Sierra Leoneans to see it as a cause of study in our beloved country?
Okay. First of all, let me make a correction there. I do not have 2 PhD in psychology. Okay. Human service and community development is different from psychology. Okay. Those are 2 different field of thoughts. I have a PhD. Correction. I have a doctorate degree in psychology. I have a PhD in human services and community development. A doctorate degree is different from a PhD. Let me just make that clear. It's to promote this psychology in the Black community, because even in the United States, we do not have that many Black psychologists. And we really want to encourage Blacks and African Americans in the field of psychology, because we believe that when our own is in that field, we'll be able to help each other out. It is a field that, yes, it's frowned upon by Blacks, but we really want Blacks to be in that field, so that, because the way I can help you is if I understand you. A white man will not understand you the way I will understand you. So we really want Blacks to be in that field, and we're really trying to encourage Blacks in that field.
Okay, well, that's great. As a Sierra Leonean, and now, like, I just want buttress within this text I say. we country we know they do that course day. You don't get the doctorate, doctorate in psychology, and they work now one of the biggest institution in America, and I believe say you did part of the blacks of psychologists in America or all over the world, if I may right. So one thing one for say, okay, what the doctor go do in terms of having a undergrad or a master's course in that area now we country for make people them go love for go for the course, even though because a lot of psychological issues then now we country.
All I can do is to encourage the professors at your universities, your head of chancellery. So all we can do is to encourage them for them to see how beneficial it is to have psychology as a trade, as a skill, as a profession, not to include psychology with other school of thoughts. Because when you look at a country like Sierra Leone, you definitely need psychologists. And when I say psychologists, because remember there are different majors in psychology. You have educational psychologists, and you definitely need educational psychologists. In the school setting, psychology is different from counseling. You definitely need neuropsychologists. You definitely need clinical psychologists. So all I can do is to have the buy-in of the people, the decision makers at the universities. Not only that, you also need professors in those areas. Now, I'm not sure if you have professors in those areas because it's not just to offer the course or offer the school of thoughts, but you have to have, the departments have to be filled up with professors. If you do not have professors in those areas, and you have to have researchers. The thing about the universities in Africa in general is that you do not encourage research. And you have to have researchers in those areas. And to have researchers, that means you have to be offering PhDs. So all I can do is, I don't know, it has to be well funded, and it has to be, the resources has to be there. I'm not sure if the resources is there in your universities, but the resources has to be there.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Edwina. Now we turn the mic to the audience. Then maybe they get one or two questions where they go and ask doctor.
To learn from you, to learn a lot from you to explain. But me want to ask this question, ma. If this time you first in a salon, or after so many years you don't come back in a salon, and you now somebody who specialized for this way they do psychology. So at this short moment in time we don't spend at the country, I do assess the people, like their culture, their behavior towards you, psychologically, I do assess them.
How I go assess the people there?
Yeah.
First, I just feel say this not to the salon where I left. I put on that with it. This not to the salon where I left. So where I come, I operate with that mindset of the salon where I left. So now I can realize, say, oh, I got to adjust to this salon. But what thing I go really like is that I don't want to make where they interact with people them. I don't want to make them begin look at me like, oh, she's there and I'm here. I go really like, and it can pain me where I can try so for be accepted. But then all this excess respect, I don't need that. I just want people them for look at me that I'm just one of you guys. Just because I get an opportunity for go study somewhere else doesn't make me any different from you guys. I just want to be accepted as one of you, and not oh, she's here and I'm here. If I could just be embraced, that will really make me day.
Family, not forget say the program where you dey watch now. Let's talk. Let's talk. They come up from creating opportunities for disadvantaged persons. Wherein we dey discuss everything where people then they go through, the one that we don't succeed in our life and everything. See then at the program we get Dr. Edwina Davies, where we don't hear we don't share with we in personal life stories, the challenges and some of the success stories that we don't go through. But before Doctor they left we, not so all term mortal man for serious. Doctor need for tell we wetin I can do best way in the enjoying in life than in personal. Then we dey go there. Doctor, people can want for know wetin I hobby.
My hobby is politics.
Politics.
I like politics bad. I'm not into salon politics because I don't understand politics.
One can say you like politics, why you not into salon politics? Because with all this qualification, some man can say if you can't do salon politics, you go help for change the narratives. Why you choose not for them into salon politics?
Because I don't understand. I mean, I don't understand salon politics. So I'm very involved in American politics. I'm an activist. I don't run for office in America, but I don't understand salon politics. And if I don't understand, you know, politics is a game. I get to understand the people them for be able to manipulate them pretty much, in a sense. So maybe since I don't begin to hang around Una now, I don't see how the youth they operate in a salon. Maybe one day I go come join salon politics.
Then you go come for flag bearer, be the first female president.
I don't know about that.
Accept them. Well, fam, will not forget to be listen to Dr. Edwina Davies, when I also a partner of creating opportunities for disadvantaged persons. Skoda. We first get to this educative program what we they do, and also you don't learn more from this program today. Now so we did take term left unam. Don't forget say the next edition they come to you. Creating opportunities for disadvantaged person, we discuss everything, bring people them who don't be successful in their life and people themselves who don't suffer from general medical conditions. Me we bring the program come to una, me na Sahid Bangura.